green, and everything in between. We're talking about what's happening in your hometown. This is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
And welcome into Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Wally Lukashinsky back in the Daily Dodge studio with you this Friday morning with the man, Cale Zomer himself, up in the WBEV studios making us sound good. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering and McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. And we start Friday off with a bang. We have Sandy calling in from McKinstry's right now. How are you doing this Friday morning?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, and I know we got a busy couple weeks coming up here. I have to ask you about what's going on. I know on Friday the 13th, we got the Arts and Peony Festival. What are you guys going to be doing?
So first of all, let's talk about Wednesday. Wednesday's the Senior Expo. So on Wednesday, stop up at the Senior Expo and check out our booth. We're going to have a free drawing. People can sign up for that. Rick and Jennifer will be talking about lift chairs up there. So please stop in and see them and say hi.
What about these lift chairs? I've been reading these reads this last week. They can lift me up, so like I got my bad wheel right now right into a standing position.
Yes, and you know, the last couple of days it's been very interesting. I've had a lot of people in looking at lift chairs who are having knee replacements. Even if it's for something temporary, they're thinking about getting a lift chair to help them during that really bad 2-week period after a knee replacement, and then they can just use it as a normal chair after that. They don't even have to use the lift if they don't need it anymore.
That's fantastic. So that's next Wednesday at this expo that you're going to be there. And again, this is a busy couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, then on Thursday we're closed, okay?
Thursday we're closed
here. And on Friday we are going to have our Friday the 13th sale. We have a Friday the 13th sale every Friday the 13th. So on Friday, stop down and see us. We're open from 8 to 5, and all the merchandise in the store is going to be marked down. So huge sale going on then. And then, of course, the 14th, so the 13th and the 14th, we have Peony Festival in Beaver Dam. So stop on down. Make sure you check out everything that's going on. There's going to be so many different things going on downtown. And my recommendation, if you're looking for things, what's all happening, check the Chamber website. I'm sure they'll have a lot of different information on there. And then also you've got Taste of Wisconsin on Saturday afternoon, too, which is a Chamber function. So please check their website out. Get downtown. See, it's going to be hopping.
It's going to be, and everybody's going to be downtown that weekend. So what better way than to spend a little bit, get in the AC for a minute, go in, check out some lift chairs. Again, I've got the bad wheel right now. As soon as I saw these chairs are going to be able to help me get up, Sandy, I couldn't tell you how excited I got.
Yeah, it's really helpful, definitely. It helps people kind of gain their independence back.
Absolutely it does. And what else is going on over there at McKinstry these days? Again, busy summertime. Father's Day is right around the corner. We got to be looking out for Papa.
Oh, well, you know, we always have Lazy Boy recliners. But one of the things I'm really excited about is yesterday we got in some new end tables from an Amish company, and they're just beautiful, and you can order them in different finishes. We got a couple different sets in. We got one in oak, one in like a brown maple. Just a lot of fun things. Always new stuff coming in.
There always is new stuff coming in. It's always great to talk with you, Sandy. I got to give you the final word on this Friday. Big plans, big anything that you want to share with us today.
Oh, just get downtown next weekend for sure. There's going to be a lot going on. And don't forget that Senior Expo.
Senior Expo, again, that's next Wednesday, too. So it'll be a busy week. Make sure that you use McKinstry's as not only like an asset here, but it's going to be a great opportunity to go out and check out again for Father's Day is right around the corner. A chance to look out for the old man.
Right, definitely. You can pick out that recliner on that big sale on Friday and then take it home with you and give it to Dad on Sunday.
Well, thank you so much as always, Sandy. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to talking with you again soon.
Okay, you have a great weekend too.
All right, perfect. And we're going to go real quick to our first break because we have a lot to talk about. I want to make sure that we do give it its due justice on the other side of the break. We're going to be joined with Ag Tourism here. We have a big event coming up next weekend. We'll be talking about that right on the other side of the break here on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
This is Randy from Professional Floor Covering, welcoming you back to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. I'm very excited this morning because we're going to be joined by three guests, one in person, two by phone, because the Classic Green reunion is coming back, and it's going to be right here in our backyard just next weekend. So we're joined this morning on the phone by Sheila Everhart, Wisconsin Agricultural Tourism Association Executive Director, Dan Gooden, co-chair for the Classic Green Reunion 2025, and Bill Hemling here in person, also co-chair for the Classic Green Reunion 2025. Pleasantly, very happy to have all three of you today. It's going to be fun. It sounds like you guys have been doing quite a few of these already.
Yeah, this is the fourth in a series. Classic Green is an organization, not a very old organization, but we have a show every other year. First one was in Nebraska in 19. The next one was in Columbus, Ohio in 21. In 23, we were in Tennessee, a little town called Lebanon, right by Nashville. And this year we're in Wisconsin.
And can you guys tell me a little bit about what this event is? Again, this is the first time this will be in Wisconsin. For people that don't know what we're actually going to be celebrating and going out and able to see, what is this event?
Well, Classic Green is an organization of John Deere collectors who collect anything made by John Deere, marketed by John Deere, memorabilia, literally from Christmas ornaments to combines. And it's an opportunity to everybody to get together, exhibit their collections, have some seminars, educational part of the operation, and just spend some time together. And because it's such a large organization, a lot of times we don't see each other except for these shows.
Absolutely, every other year.
Yeah, so it's just reunion is a very good, title for this show because it's like a family reunion.
Well, and Dan, I'd love to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about this, the history of the show, what this show is actually going to be featuring this upcoming weekend or next weekend?
Good morning, Wally. Yeah, it's the Classic Green Reunion at Washington County Fair Park at West Bend is going to be, we're going to have features for the show. We've got the John Deere Model B, which we're going to be celebrating the 90th anniversary of John Deere Model B tractors. Waterloo Boy gas engines, which that was a company that John Deere bought before they started building tractors, actually, to get into the gasoline engine business. We're going to have John Deere industrial wheeled tractors, so all the yellow or municipal tractors and equipment that have been built over the years. We're going to be featuring those. Hometown favorite for you guys is we're going to be featuring the Van Brunt equipment that was built originally right in Horicon, Wisconsin. There, the John Deere bought the facility in Horicon from the Van Brunt family years ago, and they bought that primarily because of their success in building grain drills there, right there in Horicon. Also, another hometown favorite, we're going to be featuring the John Deere 100 series lawn and garden tractor. So it's a John Deere 100, a John Deere 200, 300, and 400 garden tractor that, of course, were built right there in Horicon. And Bill, I think he may have even built some of them when he worked there. But those are our features for the show.
Well, that's fantastic. And so, first of all, this is a cool opportunity to kind of get a full circle moment of have these tractors that were built right here in our backyard, and the opportunity now to have this show right here as well. I'm noticing, too, I was looking at some notes, people like me that maybe have never driven a tractor before, is there an opportunity that I might be able to figure that out?
So historically at our events, we've had a drive a tractor event where people can participate in driving, say, a 2-cylinder tractor, old Johnny Popper, like Grandpa or your dad used to have, or maybe you've never driven a tractor. You can come to our show, and we're going to have a group there. We're very fortunate to have the Rock River group from Edgerton, Wisconsin, coming up from their show. They have a very successful Drive Your First Tractor, and they are going to be there on site Friday and Saturday, set up and allowing people to, they'll of course ride with you, but if you'd like to drive a tractor, an old historic John Deere tractor, if you've never driven one, come on out and drive one, or even if it's been a while, that's what they're going to be there for. We're really looking forward to it.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a great time, and I have to ask Sheila now. We have to hear from Sheila. I see that there's going to be some fun opportunities too. This isn't just going to be for adults. Kids can come out and have a great time as well. What kind of opportunities can kids have coming out here and getting to experience this themselves?
Yes, Wally, I want to stress to our listeners this is definitely a family-friendly 3-day event. Kids 17 and under are free. The kids can experience the Kids Zone, where there will be activities. They'll get a gift, a loot bag. There's pedal tractors and more. Kids definitely want to come and experience all things John Deere Green for this family-friendly 3-day event where children 17 and under are free.
17 and under are free. It's a great opportunity. Again, next week, it's going to be the 12th through the 14th of June. And I want to shift back to you, Bill, because you've worked at the Horicon plant for 36 years, and John Deere is very intertwined with this community. What can you say, just from personal experience, about what that impact has looked like from John Deere?
Well, first I'm going to touch on the history of John Deere a little bit, since we've got a nice chunk of time to talk today. And people, if you ask, who's John Deere? Okay, well, he's the guy that invented the plow. Not really. I think somebody like biblical times probably invented the plow. John Deere was an innovator that saw a problem to be solved. So when he moved to the Midwest to start his blacksmith business, of course, he's working with farmers, making. Blacksmiths were like the hardware store. You couldn't just buy a bracket. Somebody had to make that for you, and it was usually a blacksmith. So a lot of the farmers were having problems with their plows. At the time were either wood or cast iron. And in the Midwest soils, some of them are kind of sticky, so you're constantly cleaning your plow off because it's just building up dirt. And that was a known problem. Okay, so John Deere's like, we got to make this thing slippery. So he took a saw blade, at that time big crosscut saws, powered, and it was a broken one, obviously. It wouldn't chop up a good blade because they're probably really expensive. And he formed that into a moldboard and fastened it onto the plow. And after a little while in the ground, that thing would polish itself up and the soil would just roll over. Now, you've probably seen a moldboard plows work. It's almost mesmerizing watching them tip the soil over. That's what John Deere developed. And once he developed that plow and other farmers saw this demonstration, there's a famous painting where he's demonstrating this plow. The business just took off because everybody's like, I got to have one of them, And that was the foundation of the business that they started in 1837. The rest of the company, a lot of it was through acquisitions, and the Van Brunt Manufacturing Company was one of those. And that company started in 1860, the Van Brunt family, and they also were out to solve a problem. And in the middle 1800s, the way you planted crops is you spread the seed on top of the ground after you nicely plowed it with your John Deere plow, and then came later to incorporate the seed with a drag harrow, behind a team of horses. And the problems they were having were the birds would eat the seed before they could get it incorporated.
Oh, sure.
And one of the main culprits was the passenger pigeon. So think about the history of that. The last passenger pigeon died in a zoo in the Bronx, I think, in 1913. But at one time, there were so numerous that you couldn't get your seed incorporated fast enough before they ate it.
Wow. And then you're just out of luck at that point.
So I don't know how they dealt with it. But anyway, so the Van Brunt family, we got to have a machine that solves this problem. And so we need to inject the seed into the ground before the birds can get it. And so that's where the grain drill was developed from. And so they were a very successful company by the turn of the century, 1900s. My wife was reading up on it this morning, and actually International Harvester tried to buy them first. And it's like, gotcha,
Yeah, mission accomplished. So really not from International Harvester anyways.
Because they had the premier grain drill on the market. They were like the world leaders in manufacturing grain drills. When I was growing up, this farm had red tractors, this farm had orange tractors. Almost everyone was pulling a green grain drill. Anyway, so Deere finally convinced them. I guess they made them an offer that was just too good to turn down, and Deere bought Van Brunt Manufacturing in 1911. And then it was John Deere Van Brunt for a number of years, I think about 50 years. And then it eventually turned into John Deere Horicon Works.
Wow, and that all ties back again right here in our backyard in Wisconsin. There's a deep, deep history here.
And they're a major employer. They were at that time. They had their own foundry. They had their own power plant because there wasn't an electrical grid strong enough to power a factory. It was pretty common. Most factories produced their own electricity at that time. So they went along happily making their grain drills for 52 years, and other companies were starting to get into the garden tractor business. And International was ahead of them. There was a number of them, and so they thought, we're going to test the waters here. So in 1963, they built 1,000 tractors, a Model 110. I think it was 7 horsepower, and just to test the water. So those are really like prototypes, those first 1,000. And distributed them to some of the dealers. There was more than 1,000 dealers, so not everybody got one. And it went over really well, and the next year they were building thousands of them, and then on and on. And now, I don't know what their numbers are right now, but it's thousands and thousands of them. And they have another factory in Tennessee, I believe, that also builds garden tractors. But the 63 is super collectible. I don't want to insult other people, but if you're a serious garden tractor collector, you have to have a 63. So, and Dan has one, I have one, and it's just kind of the centerpiece of your collection usually.
Well, and I want to shift to Dan here too again, because again, it's the Classic Green Reunion. It's going to be taking place the 12th through the 14th this month. It's very clearly organized by Classic Green. For people that maybe not be too familiar with what that group is, can you tell us a little bit more about Classic Green?
Classic Green Reunion is organized by the group Classic Green. It's a nonprofit organization. We started in 2018, and the group, for anyone who enjoys John Deere products, collectibles, memorabilia, through exhibiting, collecting, preserving, and restoring all things related to John Deere. So this group really, it's not just a tractor and equipment show. This group is about anything from 1837, when John Deere was founded, through today. If you're interested in any aspect of it, that's what the show is about. So not just the agricultural equipment, the lawn and garden equipment, like Bill has talked about, the snowmobiles that were built at Horicon, John Deere construction equipment, anything that John Deere has touched over the years. And there's also going to be a lot of dealer memorabilia displays, toys. John Deere put their name on so many things over the years. Back in the 70s, you'd walk in a John Deere dealership, and it was literally like walking in the hardware store. They offered everything, every power tool, everything you can imagine. So you will see those types of things at our show. It really covers a very wide variety of items that John Deere has produced over the years.
Well, and Sheila, there's so much information about this event, about this history, for people that do want to learn more about what is coming up the 12th through the 14th. Where are people going to be able to find that information?
You want to find that information at classicgreen.org. classicgreen.org.
That's easy enough to remember for me. And if for whatever reason people do have a hard time remember that, you can watch back this interview on DailyDodge.com or on the YouTube page at Daily Dodge, or the YouTube page at DailyDodgeTV, excuse me. And I do have one more thing, Sheila, before we do throw to break. I see Saturday morning, there's going to be a fun opportunity for you guys at home to go out, get some breakfast, and then go over and see some of these great tractors.
Absolutely. So on Saturday, the Washington County Dairy Breakfast will be held right there at the Washington County Fair Park and Convention Center from 7 a.m. until noon. Breakfast will include all-you-can-eat pancakes served with scrambled eggs, cheese, applesauce, sausage, and milk. You can buy your tickets ahead of time through the Dairy Promotions Board for $9, or you can buy them at the gate for $11. There's going to be ample parking, and then there will be a bus shuttle to and from a dairy farm where you can go and learn about a dairy farm operation. The activities on the farm are free for the public to attend. The activities on the farm will include like a petting zoo, face painting, and other activities.
Oh, wow.
Also, while you're on that tour, you can have $1 ice cream sundae, but bring your dollar bills because it's cash only.
Ooh, bring the George Washingtons with you. You can't pass that deal up. $1 for some sundaes? Oh, that's what I'm talking about. The 12th through the 14th. Again, we have a lot more to go over, but we're going to have to take a quick break now. We're going to come back, learn a little bit more about the Classic Green reunion that is coming the 12th through the 14th. But that's next on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
To the Daily Dodge TV studios, and once again, here is Wally Lukaczynski.
Thank you very much, Kale, and very excited this morning. We are again joined by phone by Sheila Everhart, Dan Gooden, and then we are in person with Bill Hemling this morning talking Classic Green Reunion 2025 that takes place June 12th through the 14th, just a couple weeks away here. And Bill, we were talking a little bit during the break. One of the cool things about this event, there's going to be a fish fry, a banquet, and a speaker that has a pretty cool story he's going to be able to share.
Okay, first I'll talk about the Friday night fish fry. When we were putting the show together, we're always in a different state, so we want to try to follow the traditions of the state, and so we want to Wisconsinize this show. And one of the great Wisconsin traditions is a Friday night fish fry. So we lined up caterer, and Friday night you'll be able to buy a full meal fish fry. I think there'll be some old fashions available also.
Nice.
Separate from the fish fry. So that's one of the things going on Friday night. Hopefully we have a polka band lined up that will be playing at the same time on the grounds. And Saturday night we have a banquet, which is unfortunately sold out. There's a waiting list, which you could check out. But the speaker we're going to have that night is kind of an interesting story. His name is Scott Gottschalk. He's from Minnesota, and he was a former educator. And he is going to be on a 120,000-mile motorcycle trip this summer, which has already started. He started on the 25th of May. He had to reroute once we lined him up as a speaker, he had to reroute his route a little bit so he would land in West Bend on the night of our banquet. But anyway, he's trying to cover 1,000 miles a day. And he's doing it as a fundraiser. He's got sponsors, and his cause is preventing human trafficking. So, even if you don't get to the banquet, he's going to be arriving there Friday night or Saturday, we assume with a camera crew in tow because they're documenting this. So just seeing this, Harley and maybe a few other bikes riding with him coming into the show should be kind of cool.
That sounds unbelievable. Anybody that's going to be willing to go 120,000 miles in 120 days, I want to hear that kind of story. And Dan, I've noticed that this is a reunion that rotates sites every 2 years. It bounces all around. What can you tell us about how this event has grown and improved over the years?
So the organization started by a group of friends of mine in 2018, realized that the John Deere collectors across the United States and actually Canada were looking for an event to bring themselves together for all things John Deere, because they do and did cover such a wide variety of different things over the years. So in 12 short months from starting the organization, the first show in 2019 was out in Grand Island, Nebraska. Started out with our first show. They did a wonderful job. I thought, being as far west as it was, I didn't know what to expect, but we attended it, and it was a great show. The group of people from that area put on a spectacular show. Every 2 years, we're doing a show. So in 2021, we were in Columbus, Ohio, right in the heart of tractor collector world, and that was a spectacular show. 2023, just outside of Nashville, Tennessee, Lebanon, Tennessee, at their state fairgrounds there. Wonderful show again. We continue to grow and continue to see more and more people coming to our show. We have people from, like I said, Canada and other places of the world that attend our show. Classic Green is a Facebook-based group, and we've got close to 150,000 followers on Facebook of John Deere collectors around the world. And we also have a current membership that is very, very positive also. So that is the group that comes together for this show. And we've got a number of committee members. We've got roughly 60 committee members that have come together to work with Bill and I and the board of directors of Classic Green to put together the show. So it's quite a group effort to put this together, but we're really looking forward to bringing the show to everybody at West Bend next week.
Well, it sounds like a well-oiled machine at this point. I was telling that to Bill earlier. You guys have done a great job. 2 years of hard work getting it back, and right here in our backyard. And Sheila, I see you had a note here. I'm glad you had it phrased this way. It's the way I was thinking. Pack the car. Let's get the family out there. This is 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A lot going on, and a lot for everybody as well.
Yes, and it's very important. There's a schedule of events that you can find at classicgreen.org. The gates open at Saturday, 8 a.m., and it'll be all day until 8 p.m. There is a variety of things such as educational, informational sessions that you can attend. There are 10 different sessions. There are 2 different tours that are happening. At 9:30, there is a blacksmith demonstration throughout the day. Every day at 1 o'clock, there will be a tractor parade. And, we mentioned before, this is an event for every generation, grandpa, parents, and kids. This is a multi-generational family fun event for these 3 days. Saturday, the gates are open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and that's Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. Tickets at the gate are $15, or you can attend all 3 for $40. However, I want to stress, kids 17 and under are free. That is what makes this a wonderful, family-friendly 3-day event.
Exactly. 17 and under. Get the kids in the car, pack them up, bring their friends. They're going to have a chance to go out and see some really cool things, including, Bill, a John Deere snowmobile that they're going to have FFA groups that have actually been working on. We only have a few minutes left. Can you tell me a little bit about what this is going to look like?
Classic Green partners with FFA chapters around the country, and this, I believe, is the 3rd show that we've done this with. It kind of coincides, the show and the FFA chapter connection. So what we do is we'll give an FFA chapter a tractor or a garden tractor or a snowmobile, and they do the work, restoration on the unit. We pay for the parts. A lot of times we'll get local people to donate the parts for the kids. For example, the Beaver Dam chapter has a garden tractor, and Ballwigs has provided most of anything that was available through John Deere. Some of the parts aren't available, so then we have to scour the used market. And they complete the project, and I saw pictures of the Beaver Dam one yesterday, and it's just amazing how good of a job they did on it. So then we call it raffle. It's actually sweepstakes, so it's because it's a nationwide, because a lot of states don't allow raffles. So we call it a sweepstakes. So we print X amount of tickets for this raffle, and the chapter gets half, Classic Green gets half, and then the kids can use it as a fundraiser. And so this year we've got Beaver Dam with a garden tractor. Horicon chapter has a snowmobile, the John Deere 400 snowmobile, first year edition, and the Mayville chapter has a Model 50 ag tractor, 2-cylinder. So it's just kind of an outreach for us to work with, because this is our next generation of collectors, basically.
Absolutely.
And opportunity for the kids to learn some mechanical skills. They're going to be marketing their tickets. I mean, it's the whole thing wrapped into one. And so the one other thing I wanted to touch on was the seminars that we're going to have at, because we've been talking about history. We do have a whole schedule of seminars which you can find on classicgreen.org. So there's more going on during the day. You know, if you get tired of walking around looking at green tractors, you can check the schedule and see what's going on in the exhibition hall. And we've got 2 speakers talking about the history of John Deere Horicon Works. Dave Wolf is going to cover he's our resident John Deere historian, sort of, I guess. He's going to cover the Horicon Works, or the Van Brunt, from 1860 to 1963. So he'll be talking through the whole transition from the Van Brunt to the John Deere. And then Steve Johnson, who is a retired factory manager from Horicon Works, is going to take the reins of the seminar from the 63 to the present. So he'll be talking about when they introduced garden tractors, when the snowmobiles came in, and now we're doing gators. So, and he'll cover that, and from 63 to the present.
And I know we're right up against it. If we go online, and we can learn more about these seminars ahead of time too, at classicgreen.org.
Right, there's bios in there on everybody.
That's perfect. Well, I want to thank the 3 of you for you, Bill, for joining me today, and then Dan and Sheila for joining us by the phone. It sounds like it's going to be a great time. Again, 17 and under are free, and you can learn so much more about this event at classicgreen.org. Thank you 3 for joining us today, and good luck this next couple weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wally, and
Thanks
thank you, WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge 95.3. We appreciate the opportunity. Thanks
You guys
so much.
are awesome. Thank you so much. And she just took the words out of my mouth, but we're going to be back after one final break here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
For
Professional Floor Covering, welcoming you back to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Nicely done, Kale. I like this play-in music here for us. And I got to throw it to you quick. We're back here on Hometown Today, 95.3 WBEV. Kale, I'm going to let you have it for a second. Bill left his jacket down here, and I got to run it up to him.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, yeah, bringing us back with a little Joe Diffie and John Deere Green here on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV. Again, our thanks to Bill and Dan and Sheila. Great event coming up with the Big Green Reunion. It's going to be a lot of fun, so looking forward to that. Of course, 3 weeks from right now, what we're going to be doing here is we'll have just wrapped up the 2025 Good Common Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. It's hard to believe that it is coming up that quickly. And, of course, we've already got a sneak peek of some of the auction items up on DailyDodge.com. We've had a lot of them coming in already this week, so we're going to be adding to that. So keep checking back. Really excited for that. So about 3 weeks away from the Radiothon, but a chance to support the Radiothon. Before that, though, coming up this weekend, you got two chances. Coming up tomorrow, over at Tower Lanes, Noel's Angel Walk going to be hosting their car wash for the kids from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And I love how they set this up because they don't have a set price. You just come in, get your car wash, your truck, your SUV, your motorcycle, your ATV, UTV. I don't know if you got an airplane, you can somehow get it to Tower Lanes. I guess they'll wash that too. And you just make a donation that you think is fair. And it all goes to benefit the Good Comer Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. So that's, again, tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. over at Tower Lanes in Beaver Dam. And then on Sunday, you'll want to head over to Thirsty Beaver on Madison Street here in Beaver Dam. They're going to be hosting a big meat raffle. Love me a good meat raffle. That's going to be happening starting at 2 p.m. on Sunday over at Thirsty Beaver on Madison Street. So plenty of opportunities to support the Radiothon.
A lot of opportunities, and it's going to be a great weekend. Kale, thanks for everything, as always, that you do up there. We'll be back same time, same place on Monday. You're going to be able to listen to Terry Bell and Jeremiah Johnson next, so make sure you stay tuned here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.